Good morning, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom. How wonderful to need to lean into the microphone. What a crowd. So we're going to start with the singing of a new version for us of Hine Matov, and I hope Rabbi Berry doesn't mind my saying that it was one that she found and suggested, and it has quickly become one of my favorites. Hine Matov, Umayayim Shevetachim
Shalom. That's pretty good. So we are so honored and thrilled and excited to be with all of you this morning as we celebrate Shabbat. And what I see, I have the privilege of seeing all of you, is I see so many smiling faces and such joy and excitement. And I know our wonderful 10 B'nai Mitzvah students see your joy and excitement as well, and it is so appreciated. Our B'nai Mitzvah class has been working for this moment for close to 2 years, and they have studied and learned together, and today they are going to lead us in prayer with such depth and incredible beauty, and truly always joy. Just a few words about our service this morning, because we want everyone to be here in this moment with us. We are thrilled that we have so many children here. They are so welcome. There are some books spread around the pews in the sanctuary. We are thrilled if they make noise, so not to worry, we are so glad, especially we know many of them are grandchildren of our B'nai Mitzvah. And so how important are they? Really the most important people. So please just know, do not be concerned at all, do not feel worry or anxiety. We are glad they are here. The second piece is our service today. You'll find in our prayer books, we learn together and pray together in both Hebrew and English and Hebrew transliteration. The transliteration is intended so everyone can follow along. Generally, what we do is we choose one prayer on a 2-page spread of prayers, and we pray that prayer together, and then we turn the page. So if you can't find us on a particular page, you can assume we've turned the page, and so try to do that and you'll be able to orient yourself. Anytime we skip pages, we call out the page number, so that way you can continue on with us.
The only other option is that if you cannot find the page, we may have gone down the back staircase.
The last piece is that what we do when we gather together in our sanctuary is we come together to create community and to pray. And so in no way is this a performance. Instead, this is a communal act of sacred prayer that we all participate in together. And so we invite you to sing with us, to pray with us, to share words with us. La la la's count. So if you don't know Hebrew, that's okay. And we still would like you to pray and be part of our morning together. And so traditionally we begin when we wake up in the morning with words of a prayer called Ma Tovu that declares how beautiful are your tents, O Jacob, how beautiful are the people that surround us, how beautiful is the sunlight coming in through these windows. We feel and experience joy by seeing the world anew. We are on page 192, and let's sing together.
Adonai ahati me'od beitecha u'mekom mishkan kevodecha v'ani eshtachaver v'kara ebrechani b'nei Adonai Osi
Shabbat Shalom. On behalf of our B'nai Mitzvah class, we welcome everyone.
A year and a half ago, this group of acquaintances and strangers came together with the goal of becoming B'nai Mitzvah. We all came with different reasons. Some never had a B'nai Mitzvah growing up. Some of us are Jews by choice. And some wanted to re-experience being called to the Torah as an adult. The common thread was that we committed ourselves to study Torah, to learn Hebrew, Jewish traditions and history, and through this journey, we have all bonded as friends and deepened our commitment to the Temple Shalom community.
So here we are today. It all comes together as we are called to the Torah. It is amazing to look out from the Bima at everyone here. Friends, family, temple members. We are honored that you are all here today to share our special day. We hope you enjoy the service, prayers, and music as much as we enjoy leading this Shabbat morning service. And we continue now on page 194.
Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill, creating the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh, working wondrously. Baruch atah Adonai, rofei kol bashar, v'mafli la'asot. We turn to page
196.
196.
My God, the soul you have given me is pure. You created it, you shaped it, you breathed it into me, and you protect it within me. For as long as my soul is within me, I offer thanks to you, Adonai, my God, and God of my ancestors. Source of all creation, sovereign of all souls, praise are you, Adonai, in whose hand every living soul and the breath of humankind. Baruch
atah Adonai, asher b'yad nefesh kol chai, v'ruach kol b'sar ish. We turn to page 208 for the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitkada v'yitkada shamei rabbah, v'yalmai divrav kirutech v'yamlich malchutech, b'chai echon yom echon, uv'chai dekol beit Yisrael, ba'gala Uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach ve'olam me'almei amaya yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha brichu le'olamin kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran v'yaman v'imru amen.
Our tradition teaches us that we gather first to warm ourselves up, which we have done so beautifully, so that we are now a complete community, a whole community, ready to rise together for the call to worship. So we turn together on page 226, and we rise as one community for the Baruch Hu.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Do you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared?
We remain standing.
We continue now on to page 228.
Okay?
Okay, ready? Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzei or uvarei choshech, osei shalom uvarei et hakol, hama'ir la'aretz v'nechtamim aleha barachamim, uvtuvo mechadesh b'kol yom tamid, Mahaseh Bereshit. Ma Rabu Ma'asecha Adonai. Kulam B'chokhmah Asita. Mal'ah Ha'aretz Kinyanecha. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu. Al Shavach Ma'aseh Yadecha. V'al Ma'arei Or She'asita. Yifa'arucha Selah. Or Chadash al Zion Ta'ir. V'nizkeh kulanu mehera le'oro. Baruch atah Adonai yotzei hama'orot. How deeply you have loved us, Adonai, our God, gracing us with surpassing compassion. On account of our forefathers who trust led you to teach them the laws of life, be gracious to us as well. O merciful one, have mercy on us by making us able to understand and discern, to heed, learn, and teach, and lovingly to observe, perform, and fulfill all that is in your Torah.
Enlighten our eyes with your Torah, focus our minds with your mitzvot, unite our hearts in love and reverence for your name. Then we will never feel shame, never deserve rebuke, and never stumble. Having trusted in your great and awesome holiness, we shall celebrate your salvation with joy. Gather us in peace from the four corners of the earth and lead us upright to our land, for you, O God, work wonders. You chose us, truly. You drew us near to your great name, that we might acknowledge you, declaring you one in love. Praised be you, Adonai, who chooses your people Israel in love. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher le'amo Yisrael b'ahava.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam.
Please be seated. We continue on page 234. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, ושיבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ושכבך וקומך, וקשרתם מאוד על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין uktabtam al mezuzot beitecha uvihi shalecha leman tizkeru ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yatem kedoshim le'elohehem Ani Adonai Elohehem Asher hotzetichem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihyot lehem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohehem.
Continue on page 239. Emet, there is no place where you are not. Even in the wilderness, there is your word.
Emet, that pen strokes of lightning, white fire, black flame, stir the soul's passion, guide our sacred way. True and enduring is Torah. Your truth for us is certain and established, now and forevermore. Like Moses, Miriam, and all of Israel, we sing out and rejoice.
Friends, we have reached that place in our service where we sing about the potential and the possibility for freedom. We're on page 240, Mi Chamocha.
We continue on page 242 with the Amidah. Please rise.
Adonai, Sefatai Tiftach, Ufiati Teilatecha.
Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahel, Elohei Leah, Rahel Hagadol Hagibor Mahanorah, El Elyon, Gomer Hasadim Tovim, V'Kolei Hakol, V'Zoher Hazei Avovim Amo, Ulevi
There's always an opportunity for holiness, and so we are on page 248. Let us read this last part of the Kedusha, our prayer for holiness, together. To all generations we will declare your greatness, and for all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Please be seated. We continue on page 253.
We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope.
For Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living. For Shabbat memories, glowing even in darkness. For Shabbat peace, born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessings, O God. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadosh ha-Shabbat.
On page 254, Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Ba'amacha Yisrael, Utefilatam Ba'ahava Tekabel, Utehi L'ratzon Tamid Avodat Yisrael Amecha, El Karov L'chol Korav, Pnei El Avadecha V'chanenu, Shefoch Ruchacha Aleinu, V'techezena einenu b'shuvcha l'tzion barachamim. Baruch atah Adonai hamachazir shechinato l'tzion.
Please turn to page 257 and join me in the Hebrew. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations. Modim anachnu lach.
For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons.
Modim anachnu lach. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements.
Modim anachnu lach. For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression.
Modim anachnu lach. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared.
Modim anachnu lach. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom.
Modim anachnu lach. For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose.
Modim anachnu lach. We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hato shimcha l'lecha ne'eh le'odot.
Please turn to page 258. Sim shalom tova uveracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, oleinu v'al kol Yisrael amecha, barchenu yotzreinu kulanu ke'echad, ba'or panecha, ki ba'or panecha natata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu, Torat chayim v'achavat chesed, Utzdaka uveracha v'rachamim v'chayim v'shalom v'tov ba'einecha levarech et amecha Yisrael b'chol eit uv'chol sha'a b'shlomecha Baruch atah Adonai hamavarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
At this time, we take a few moments as we have recited prayers that help us reflect on the past and present. We take those few moments now to read the words on these pages, to find the words within our own hearts, to think about the future, to connect with God, to think about our lives, to just have a moment in silence. And we'll gather together again in just a few moments at the bottom of page 260. But for now, let's pray silently.
Oh, say shalom bimroha. Uyah, say shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ve'imu. Amen.
at this time we prepare to participate in one of the most significant things we do as Jews, and that is we turn to the reading of the Torah. We're commanded to not just read Torah privately to ourselves or as individuals, but we are actually taught to read Torah communally together. Because the idea is when we share in the joy of these words, its traditions and teachings truly come to life in ways that they do not when we read these texts alone as individuals. And so we celebrate and feel joy in this great moment as our B'nai Mitzvah will be called to the Torah, each of them individually for the very, very first time. And so we continue on page 364 as the Torah is taken from the ark, and together we will symbolically share in the joy of this reading. Please rise. Our B'nai Mitzvah today will share some of its secrets and stories and joys with you. They will take hold of it and teach us that it is truly a gift and a text of love and justice, goodness and hope. And as we come together at this moment, we acknowledge that freedom is its gift to all who treasure it.
Shabbat Shalom. Indeed, what a beautiful morning to be together to read from this sacred scroll here in the, not exactly the middle of Exodus, moving towards the end of Exodus, that story of moving from slavery to freedom. This week's Torah portion is Truma, which is roughly translated as gift or donation, and a donation or a gift from the heart. And indeed, this morning, our 10 B'nai Mitzvah students have brought their full selves, their whole hearts into this morning and into this study, and will read from this portion so beautifully about what it means to bring your full self into community. I want to issue a little bit of a gentle reminder before we enter into this space. I want to give you the opportunity to be fully present. I want to encourage you to, if you haven't had a chance to silence your phone and put it in your pocket, to remind you that this is a sacred time and that we need to give ourselves the space to be away from that outside distractions, so that when we bring the Torah and we read her beautiful words, we are fully present, and that we will take pictures with our minds in this moment so that we can encourage it in this moment. We have 2 Divrei Torah this morning, one at the beginning of this moment and then one at the end. They are amazing. Indeed, there are also the remaining Divrei Torah, all of them bring something. It's really true how much Torah you can get from a scroll that we read again and again. Each student wrote a Devar Torah, but 2 are representing the class this morning.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. There's no place like home. Thank you.
Now you don't.
There's no place like home. It's a quote that we all know so well, and it's what I remember every time I read this week's Torah portion. This week's Parsha is Terumah from Exodus. When it begins, the Jews are wandering in the desert after leaving Egypt. Moses goes up Mount Sinai, and God speaks to him. God instructs Moses that the Jewish people are to build him a tabernacle, and let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. Exactly as I show you the pattern of the tabernacle and the pattern of all its furnishings, so shall you make it. The remainder of the Parsha are the instructions from God to the Jewish people. Very precise instructions about the materials, such as gold and silver, and the exact structure of the tabernacle. But why so precise? Why such care? Well, again, there's no place like home. We have all felt it. We have all been there. We have all felt that yearning for home. For me, I recall with such emotion when my childhood home was sold. I was barely an adult myself, and so it was still my home. I felt a visceral need to create a new home for myself, a place of comfort and familiarity. As the story unfolds in this portion, God seems to understand this feeling. God responds by giving the Jewish people what they needed most at that moment. He was instructing them to build a home, a place that they could gather with common purpose, a place to feel safe and comfortable. It was of utmost importance, and it needed to be built with care. This need to create a home is also what drew me to become a bat mitzvah today. As a child, I always identified strongly with the Jewish religion and my Jewish roots. But attending temple was not a tradition that my family followed. When I went into synagogue, it felt foreign and out of place. After I had my son, I promised myself that he would always feel at home in a synagogue. We joined Temple Shalom, and he became a bar mitzvah in 2015. And Temple Shalom still plays an active role in his life. Goal accomplished, I thought. But then I realized that it was only half done. I still did not feel quite at home here. I still felt like a guest. So I joined this wonderful B'nai Mitzvah class. On the first day, we all discussed what brought us here. For me, it was so I could truly feel at home in my temple. A year and a half later, and these 9 amazing classmates are now my friends. We will always share the bond of this day. And when I walk into Temple Shalom, whether for services or for a class, I feel more than just comfortable. The words and actions are no longer foreign to me. The people are my friends. I truly feel at home. Goal accomplished. And so it was for the Jewish people. They were wandering in the desert. They had left their home in Egypt, but they were about to build a new home for themselves,
a portable tabernacle that they could take with them as they wandered. So wherever they would go, they would have a special place, a place for friendship, a place for prayer, a place of comfort, because there's no place like home. Shabbat Shalom.
How many ordained clergy does it take to find the Torah place? 3.
Oh, wait, we're going to chant the blessing before the Torah reading on page 368, and our class will read for us.
Baruch Adonai Hamorah.
Baruch Adonai Hamorah Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamorah Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'na'atamanu et torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen.
Vayedaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Daber el bnei Yisrael v'yikachu li teruma me'ed kol ish asher yidvenu libo tikachu et terumati v'zot hateruma asher tikachu me'itam zahav v'chesef unechoshet Utechelet ba'agaman, v'tola'at shani, v'sheish v'izi.
V'orot elim me'od amim, V'orot chashim v'atzei shitim, shemen l'mahor, v'samim l'shemen hamishcha, v'liktoret hasamim. Avnei shoham v'avnei Elohim, la'efod v'lachoshen, v'asuli mikdash, v'shakanti betocham.
Echol asher ani marei otcha et tavnit hamishkan ve'et tavnit kol kelav v'chein ta'asu va'asu aron atzei shitim amatayim v'chetzi yarko v'yama v'chetzi rochbo v'yama v'chetzi komato v'tzipita oto zahav tahor mibayit u'michutz titzapenu v'asita alav zer zahav saviv.
ויצקת לו 4 טבעות זהב ונתת על 4 פעמותיו ושתי טבעות על זלו האחד ושתי טבעות על זלו השנית ועשית ודאי עד זה שיטים וציפית אותם זהב והבאת את הבדים בטבעות על זלות הארון לשאת את הארון בהם.
בטבעות הארון יהיו הבדים, לא יסורו ממנו, ונתת אל הארון את העדות אשר אתן אליך, ועשית כפורת זהב טהור 2.5 אורכה ו1.5 רוחבה.
יעשית 2 כרובים זהב מקשה תעשה אותם משני קצות הכפורת ועשה כרוב אחד מקצה מזה וכרוב אחד מקצה מזה מן הכפורת תעשו את הכרובים על שני קצותיו והיו הכרובים פורסי כנפיים למעלה שוחים בכנפיהם על הכפורת ופניהם איש אל אחיו אל הכפורת יהיו פני הכרובים.
ונתת את הכפורת על הארון מלמעלה ואל הארון תיתן את העדות אשר אתן אליך. וידעתי לך שם ודיברתי איתך מעל הכפורת מבין שני הכרובים אשר על ארון העדות את כל אשר אצווה אותך אל בני ישראל. ועשית שולחן עשה שיטים 200 אורכו ומה רוחבו ו1.5 קומתו.
V'tzipita ato zahav tahor. V'asita lo zer zahav saviv. V'asita lo mishgeret tova saviv. V'asita zer zahav limishgarto saviv. V'asita lo arba tabaot zahav. V'nata et hatatvot al arba tapayot asher le'arba raglav.
Umat hamizgeret tahiena hatabaot. Levatim, levatim, lasehet et hashulhan. Ve'asita et habadim, atzei shitim, vitzipita otaham, zahav, vanisavaham, et hashulhan. Ve'asita kiarotav, ve'hapotav, ugeshotav, umanakiotav, asher yusahak bahen, zahav tahor, ha'eseotam. Vinatata, al-hashulhan, lechem panim, lefanai tamid.
To take a breath. V'asita menorat zahav tahor miksha teaseh hamenorah yurecha v'kana geviecha kaftorecha ufrachecha mimena yiyu. Vishisha kanim yotzim mitzidecha shlosha kanei menorah mitzida ha'echad ushlosha kanei menorah mitzida ha'sheni shlosha gevi'im Mishukadim Bakaneh Ha'echad Kaftor Vaferach Ushlosha Gevi'im Mishukadim Bakanecha Ha'echad Kaftor Vaferach Kain L'sheshed Hakanim Hayotzim Min ha-menorah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu Torat emet v'chayei olam lecha b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
So we're going to have our second of our Torah of our morning. So Paul is going to come share some thoughts with us about the Torah portion our class so beautifully read.
I told the guy, music is like religion to me. I never feel so close to God as when I'm in the middle of a good jam. I was trying for a chance to play with a jam band. I thought I would sell it to the band leader with my sincere love for playing the music, and I meant what I said to him. But that just gave away what a naive idealist I am. An idealist because some people in music are just pragmatic. They don't care whether what you do is art as long as it sells. And naive because I had given this guy a handle for manipulating me. Now he knew that I'd fill in at a moment's notice, hungry for a chance to get in on those long open jams that defined the music this guy's group was honoring. And you could just picture it. Ringy-ding, Paul, I got a gig in Vermont, 3 hours away, day after tomorrow, will you do it? Yeah, please, like a puppy dog. Still, it all worked out. For a few months and a few gigs, I had a chance to fill in with them. We shared moments of transcendent beauty when we were all jamming at the same time, not just marking time or covering chord changes. Each of us brought the best from our heart and soul into the songs, each making a contribution based on our own individuality, being himself, yes, we were all guys, sorry, being himself, yet also transforming into some greater whole that carved out a beautiful space and time. If there are any jazz musicians, jam band musicians, deadheads, or fans of the Allman Brothers or Fish out there, you know what I mean. When I learned that the Parsha for our B'nai Mitzvah was Tehumah, I was at a loss. Lacking Elizabeth Connolly's insight and wisdom, and I direct you to her Devar Torah about that, I didn't know what to do with this text. Although the Parsha is called Gifts, it reads like a set of architectural plans for the building of a tabernacle. What can I say about cubits, rings, and posts, or dolphin skins and cedar about gold, silver, and lapis lazuli? And what's with the dolphin, whatever that was, and especially if it was a fish in the middle of the desert? But then I remembered my conversation with that fellow and what came of it. And it occurred to me that there were 2 points about Tehumah that resonated for me in my jam band experience. First, real jam band musicians never phone it in. That's why Cream fell apart. Eric Clapton realized that after a while, he was just noodling around. Some of you people know Cream, huh? Likewise, the gifts God required for the tabernacle had to come from the heart. As it says at the beginning of our Parsha, take gifts or offerings from the Israelites, from everyone whose heart so moves them. Or in an earlier translation, from whosoever is of a willing heart. It was not enough just to toss something onto a pile of construction materials, and we had to willingly give something that had value, or else it would not be a gift from the heart, but a perfunctory gesture. Second, jam band musicians and their fans realize that each member of the band contributes something unique. The demand made of the ancient Israelites strikes me as very similar to what is demanded of musicians in a true jam. Open your heart and give your individual best, but leave your selfish ego at home. Each of the gifts for the tabernacle would have to come from people in different parts of the community. Gold from the rich, perhaps, or from miners. Dolphin skins from fishers, if that word actually refers to a fish. Wood from lumber cutters or carpenters. Fine fabrics from clothiers or weavers. Animal hides from herders or farmers. We were not told how we were to obtain each of these things. That was left to our individual skills, just as the heartfelt giving had to come from each of our individual hearts. To build the tabernacle, we were to take these diverse gifts of different individuals and construct something beautiful that both incorporated and transcended each individual giver. How naive and idealistic was this tabernacle? Disregard that we are asked to hand over vast wealth to priests who could be hiding personal pragmatic interest behind a veil of piety. Show the priests our open hearts. Here, this is the best I can give, and all for an invisible God. Now, here is a third point of contact between music and tabernacle building as I see it. Neither is completely open, free-for-all anarchy. For instance, in the popular jam songs, Whipping Post and In Memory of Elizabeth Reed, you play in A minor using primarily the Dorian mode. Don't worry about what that is. It's one of the 7 church modes, as they're called, and it's a favorite of jazz and blues players. You may play around the heartbeat of the song if you want, but never forget that it's a song that has a rhythm. Even the most avant-garde Miles Davis jam of the late 60s and early 70s had a heartbeat and recurring themes around which the musicians played their individual contributions. Similarly, God laid down the architecture and components of the tabernacle just as God gave us the fundamental principles of our community, so that first we could enter into humane society, entering the ark under the Noahide laws as if entering a covenant, and later so that we could enter into a unique community committed to carrying forward a vision of justice, compassionate regard for others, and holiness. Our community and our tabernacle are things of principle, ritual, tradition, and law. But, as we learned from the rabbis who reinvented Judaism after the Roman destruction of the temple, with enough room between the guide rails for individual improvisation from the heart. Of course, the lessons I learned from jam music that I learned were there, after all, in the tabernacle building of Tehumah, carry over into our everyday life. Look at the diversity of viewpoints and contributions among the congregants who come into Torah study on Shabbat mornings. Look at the gifts we receive from congregants who lead services, engage in social action, or hold together the brotherhood and the sisterhood. Each day we are together building tabernacles, holy places in time and space, where we bring together diverse talents and gifts for the sake of achieving some good or beauty that transcends personal interest or pleasure. How naive and idealistic is that in a political age that appears to be dominated by the brutish pursuit of self-interest? I'd like to end by highlighting the 2 main takeaways. First, building a tabernacle need not be just about a place or particular construction materials, or even any one thing in particular, although I would be remiss if I did not point out how Robin's, Devar Torah, and Judy's, and Deborah's, and several others that aren't coming to mind right now, all do talk about the importance of a home. But, in addition, it is about the positive employment of a state of mind, heart, and soul. Libertarian individualists and communist collectivists can spend the rest of creation butting heads, but Judaism has seen the right of it from long. Something of both, self without narcissistic solipsism, and belonging to something greater without losing yourself entirely, all at the same time. Theoreticians may debate how this can be, but we know its truth. As Rabbi Mendel of Kotsk asked and answered, where does God dwell? God dwells where we let God in. Second, that state of the soul is open to all of us, but at a cost. To attain it means allowing ourselves to be vulnerable to manipulation and abuse, to the heartache of misplaced trust. And here I want to give a shout out to my son Aaron, who after this was written and before he knew about it, told me about the hedgehog dilemma. And if you don't know about it, look it up in Wikipedia because it has some resonance with what I'm saying here. We cannot be a rock or an island, even though, as Paul Simon ironically wrote, a rock feels no pain and an island never cries. Instead, we have to hold fast to that naive idealism that for me makes jamming a doorway to something divine, and that, as Tehumah teaches, leads us to bring gifts from the heart that build tabernacles. Shabbat Shalom.
So we want to bring our class back up here again. So come on up. Come on up, all of you. You can leave your stuff with you behind. Yep, Torah portion order.
You will forever line up in Torah portion order. Come a little closer.
Again.
Use your power for good, Rabbi, not for evil. As we sat down to reflect on how to bless all of you, a familiar text from Pirkei Avot, the rabbinic book of ethics, came up in our conversation. I hope all of you will remember it from a few months ago when we met to discuss the various pathways one can take when crafting a Devar Torah. The text comes from a great rabbinic sage with an equally amazing name, a man by the name of Ben Bagbag, who teaches the following wisdom about Jewish learning and the study of Torah. Hafokba, v'hafachba, turn it, and continue to turn it, for everything is in it. Look deeply in it, grow old and gray over it, and do not stir from it, for you can have no better portion than it.
This is a fitting frame with which to honor this amazing moment in your lives. You stand here today having turned and turned and sometimes turned our precious and complicated tradition over and over as you slowly but surely made it your own. It has been a journey of learning, community, and commitment. During the past year and a half, you individually and collectively engaged with the great ideas of Judaism. You wrestled with Hebrew, Jewish history, prayer, theology. You studied text, asked complex questions, and strived to create meaning for yourselves. You learned to chant Torah and ancient prayers, seeking a connection and perhaps constructing a new understanding of your relationships with the divine. You created holy space and holy time together as you became a community.
Your connection to one another was striking. When a few nights ago we gathered after our final rehearsal in the chapel, a web of sacred connection descended upon all of us as the words from your parsha, Truma, your Torah portion that you so elegantly chanted this morning, came to life. Ba'asuri mikdash v'shachanti betocham. Let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. Over the past year and a half, you have created this mikdash, this holy space and sacred connection with one another.
It is clear that God dwells in the space you created together, as God also dwells in you. Ben Bagbag's colleague, a rabbinic sage known by the equally amazing name of Ben Heihei, adds an important addendum to Ben Bagbag's teaching. He says, Lefum sa'ara agra, the reward is in proportion to the exertion.
So we would be remiss if we did not remind ourselves of this equally important exhortation. Learning something new at any age is complex and demanding. Committing yourself to learning something new as an accomplished adult requires an additional dose of discipline, perseverance, and perhaps multiple doses of a real sense of humor. We are inspired by your courage to reach out and up for something many of you have desired for years. We hope you are proud of your accomplishments.
We, your teachers, who include the two of us, your rabbis, Hebrew teacher extraordinaire, who's on the bima with us, Julie Vanek, our talented cantor, Peter Halpern, and last year's remarkable rabbinic intern, Rabbi Philip Bressler, are each very proud to have played a small role in helping you achieve this moment. We feel certain that everyone in our community and everyone sitting here today joins us in feeling a sense of collective joy and pride as we share this momentous occasion with you. And so as a way for all of us to express that feeling, in just a moment, we're going to invite your friends and families, anyone that you invited to be with you here today, to rise. And on page 4 in these beautiful booklets, there is a family blessing. And we would love if you'd rise and help share this with our B'nai Mitzvah class.
Pretty much think everybody will be rising right now, so.
All right, so ready, everyone? 1, 2, 3. May the one... As we turn in our prayer books to words of Hagba and Galila at the bottom of page 370, we're going to lift and dress the Torah and then bless our class up here at the Ark. We're honored to invite our Rabbi Emeritus, Rabbi Eric Gervis, to also join us up here. And so we'll remain standing and sing together. Bezot HaTorah Asher Sam Moshe Lifnei Bnei Yisrael Al Pi Adonai V'yad Moshe Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai 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 Eitz Chaim Hi L'Chol Hazikim Ba Be'ezo Be'echa Me'ushar De'Raviyah Dominum L'Kol Netimoteha Shalom Shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elavadenu Shuva Chadish Yameinu Keketem.
יברך אדוני וישמרך.
May your hearts always be as moved as they are today, open to our resolute foundation of Torah, learning, avodah, prayer, and gemilut chasadim, deeds of loving kindness.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך
May you each feel the gratitude for the gifts you bring to our community as you teach us that the doors of Jewish life are always open to everyone who wishes to enter.
And may you know today and always a sense of divine connection in your life, to our community, to one another, to yourselves, and ultimately to the one who opens our hearts today and every day. And we join together as a community and say, Amen.
Simin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simin tov, simin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simin tov, simin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simin tov.
We remain standing with the ark open and turn to page 587 for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'atei kedua yotzer reshit, shehu sam elkeinu li'akei shamo, v'gor aleinu la'amid malchuto, v'anachnu orim u'mishtachachim u'orim l'fnei Melech moed hamolim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar ha'aya Adonai
Continue on page 594.
It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch.
A fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be, and oh, to lose.
A thing for fools this, and holy thing, a holy thing to love.
For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me.
To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched.
At this time, we take a few moments to remember our loved ones, those whom death has recently taken from us, and those who died at this season and years past, and those whom are in the hearts today of all of you, all of our B'nai Mitzvah, those who came before, those who became bar or bat mitzvah and stood together to read for the Torah and in front of the Torah, and those who were not granted that privilege, but were the reason that our B'nai Mitzvah stand here and stood here today. We honor them and remember them at this time and in this moment. In our community this morning, those who have died and are experiencing that moment of Shloshim, 30 days following their death, we remember Theodore M. Adelson, Muriel Bonder, Adele Brown, founding member Richard Gladstone, Ronald M. Salet, Clara Sawalski, and Lenore Wurtzel. If anyone else is thinking of a loved one today and remembering them or experiencing or observing their yard site, the memorial of their death, in just a moment we'll invite you to please rise and share their name and your relationship with them aloud. And so we can be here with you and mourn with you in this moment. If you'd like to rise and share a name, please feel free to do so at this time. Words of Kadisha, Tome Warner's Kaddish, can be found on page 598, and we rise as one community to remember and share these words.
Yitzkadash Shmei Rabbah, V'yalma Divrach Yerutei, V'yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon U'v'yomechon, U'v'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala U'v'zman Kariv V'yimru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Li'alam Ulal Maya. Yitzvarach v'yitzpabach v'yitzpa'ar v'yitzromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal shmei kusha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'miran b'yalma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Zichronam livracha, may their memories always bring us joy and peace and blessing as we say together, Amen. Please be seated. So at this moment of joy, so many in our community have watched you on your journey and been part of your journey, and so the congregation wants to make sure that they also acknowledge you at this moment. And so it's sometimes tricky to be a synagogue president, but this is one of the best things, I suspect, as a synagogue president someone gets to do. And so we're honored to invite Scott Birnbaum, our temple's wonderful president, now to share a few words and reflect on this moment and perhaps maybe a couple of gifts for all of you.
Shabbat Shalom. First of all, I want to congratulate Mazel Tov to our B'nai Mitzvah and to their families and friends. What an incredibly joyous occasion this is. Not just to to be here together, but to receive the gifts of your heart, your chanting, your prayer, your amazingly thoughtful and sophisticated teaching. Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, the thought occurred to me the other day, thinking about this, that bar and bat mitzvah, to paraphrase George Bernard Shaw, is kind of lost on the young. Our B'nai mitzvahs here this morning, they truly embody what's best about lifetime learning. That what we try to instill in our children, that it is just a beginning. Our B'nai mitzvahs here today prove that it truly is a lifelong endeavor. So on behalf of the entire congregation, Mazel Tov, and thank you. And we have gifts on behalf of the temple. I don't know what they are, but...
Just so there's no surprise, those of you who don't attack them, to know, we each got, the congregation got them a new translation of Pirkei Avot from a social justice commentary. It's a really beautiful piece, and this morning in your blessing we used that beautiful teaching from Pirkei Avot. So we have one for each of you.
Okay.
And they're all labeled, luckily, okay.
So I'm going to call your names, but unfortunately they're not in the order of your Torah reading. So Joy. Mazel tov. Deborah. Liz. Marta. Harry. Mazel tov. Paul. Chuck. Robin. Elizabeth. And last but not least, I think this is the correct order of the Torah readings, right?
Not quite, but I was last.
That's what I mean.
I'm always last.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. And Judy and Harry are going to come up and share some words on behalf of the entire class.
We are grateful to the people whose thoughtful and patient teaching has guided us to this day. Rabbis Laura Braisley and Allison Berry, Cantor Peter Halpern, Rabbi Phil Bressler, and of course, our Hebrew teacher, Julie Vanek. We have added a leaf to the tree of life that is on the wall in the Temple Shalom lobby in their honor. We also thank the staff of Temple Shalom for their help and guidance throughout the B'nai Mitzvah process. We are grateful to the Temple Shalom community for supporting us on our paths and our individual choices.
Thank you to all of us for joining us in the sanctuary at this moment. The love and support that provides the foundation on which we stand today. Lastly, we thank, now I'm going to cry, I'm sorry. We thank all of you, our fellow students, for your continued support over the past 18 months. We learned, we studied, chanted, ate, and drank together, creating our own community. And I quote, who does not hunger for friendship, understanding, warmth, and love? Hazak, hazak, benitz hazak, hazik. Let us lend strength to one another and pray for the welfare of this community.
Following our concluding song and then a kiddush, I will invite all of you to join us across the hall in our social hall for food and drink. And I hear there's also a band, which means I'll be taking off my shoes to dance. I hope you will all join us here. Indeed, it is a hazak, the need chazek kind of moment. From strength to strength do we go, because it is my pleasure to call up those who will come after these amazing, they have set a really important example for all of you who are their children. So I'd like to call up, am I calling up just the grandchildren, Rabbi? And children. I'm calling up the children and the grandchildren of our B'nai Mitzvah this morning. While we are asking them to come up, they will lead us in Kiddush and Motzi. I would ask all of you to turn in your prayer books to page 626. We're going to do a favorite of mine, Ein Keloheinu. Let's sing together as these people join us on the bima. We got a few more. Yeah, there we go. All right. 1, 2, 3. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. L'chaim.
L'chaim. This huge, beautiful challah. Let's sing together and then we go party. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Dickerman, if you can hear me, please make your way to the bima.
There he is, Ian, right there, back there. Ian, say it again.
Ian Dickerman, if you can hear me, please make your way to the bima.
No, I did say him. I bet he can't hear you. We need to.
Okay, so go back.
If someone could grab Ian Dickerman, our photographer. Oh, here he is. Wonderful. Okay.
How you feel, honey?
Hello there. Yeah, it's like anything.
I was waiting for somebody to say something like that.
He's just making
Whoa! That's a look!
There was a whole host of, I think. I have no idea. Tables aren't assigned to it.
No. Once I was breathing, it was much better. Once I did my first work, we all did okay. Yes, that's exactly what happened. But I have to tell you, I still heard everybody else. That was hard. I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did. The cleanup batter, that's what I was. It was all good. Everybody went home. Right. It was really good. The whole thing was every part of it was really good. Liz, can you just glance? That was wonderful.
Okay, look here, please. Lift the leg.
Go down and get, I'm going to bring my whole bag. Okay.
Wait, actually, I'm sorry.
Why don't you come down? I am going to come down right now.
No, we're good.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah, and just go circulate. Thank you so much. I told him a quarter of, thinking we'd never be done, so that's why. And shockingly, we were.
I don't know, it doesn't go very long. I mean,
It was 2 hours. We need to put it on.
so remember to turn off the mic.
Yeah.
Your brain will absorb